Hello there, and welcome to episode 95 here at CUZZO-OP. I am one of the hosts here at CUZZO-OP, Willie, also known as Arrow, and as usual, we have the other host here at CUZZO-OP.
IV, what's up? It's been a bit. How you living? Welcome to another episode of the CUZZO-OP. You from me?
Yeah. So we're here today to talk about overall the state of Marvel, April 2025 edition. The
Yeah.
future, looking forward, what we got coming, what we're feeling right now. You know, we got movies, TV shows, and we're, interested to discussing it because things are very interesting right now in that universe. It's a lot of confusion and things that we haven't covered yet here on the podcast. And so we just thought, let's talk about it today. Let's make it simple, build some excitement, state some caution and, worries we have. And so we got a few things to talk about. I think first, because of how recent it is, I just want to talk about Daredevil Born Again ending. I think, we're not going to do that whole conversation here right now, but Daredevil Born Again season 1 has ended. And we know that the original plans for the show were a 18 episode long season that has now been broken up into 2 seasons with 9 episodes each. And so I think with that news already being known, there was an expectation of, oh, this was going to end in a certain way, that we'll see it in the next season. And we know that next season will be coming out in 2026. So only a 1 year wait, which is awesome. So Daredevil Born Again season 1. You have any thoughts that you want to just hint at how you're feeling about it? I don't know if you finished it. I finished it.
I didn't finish it.
Okay.
And I'm excited for that episode because I'm excited to jump into some of the details.
Right.
We'll definitely dedicate a whole episode to that. But yeah, I think the only reason why they split that shit up was money. I think it was because of money.
I don't think so.
That's how I feel.
I don't think so. Because we know about the production issues that show had, and I think they felt it may have been better this way, and I'm excited to experience it in this new way that they're going to be doing.
Because that first episode was booty cheeks. That pacing was dookie garbage compared to the rest. Compared to the rest of the series.
A fun conversation will be had. Then. All right. Well, in light of Daredevil again.
Sorry.
There was also the announcement that Jon Bernthal's Punisher would be getting a special one-off showcase. And I know that's pretty exciting, similar to kind of like Werewolf by Night. I don't know if you caught that. You not know about this?
I didn't actually notice that. I didn't know about that. That's news to me.
Yeah,
that's actually
Jon Bernthal will be getting a little one little 40-minute, 50-minute showcase is what they call it on Disney Plus.
When did they announce that? Yesterday?
No, they announced that weeks ago. We've known about that for a while.
I gotta tell that to my dad. Today's his birthday. We recorded on the day of his birthday. It'll be some good news to him.
Yeah. A whole
showcase. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's not a show. It's not a movie. It's quick and clean. And, I'm excited for that. Jon Bernthal, bro. It's Jon Bernthal,
Anything Jon Bernthal, I'm in there. Mm-hmm. April 26th or 7th, I think. It's 26th?
25th?
The Accountant 2. Is that the 25th? Yeah, let's go, baby.
The Accountant 2, yeah. So yeah, just keeping in light with that kind of mature side of the MCU. Exciting times for those who watched those Netflix shows so many years ago. Daredevil actually just celebrated its 10th anniversary over this last week. Crazy that we've had Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock for over 10 years. And let's talk about that eventually in the sense of, he's really seriously up there, bro, as a goated casting. A lot of people from that show are, to be honest.
Except for Foggy.
All right. Up next, let's talk about the next movie coming out for the MCU. We have Thunderbolts. What is your feeling on Thunderbolts? I don't think we've really discussed much about Thunderbolts, but I have some thoughts that have changed over time. So
here's the thing, bro. Earlier you said we're going to also express our worries. I'm not worried about shit. Want to know why I'm not worried? Because I'm done worrying about Marvel. You're done spun out. You're done. Somebody needs to take Feige's ass and put him on the damn bench. He needs to be benched. He needs to be benched.
I would love to explore deeper where this strong feeling and sense of you came from
I'm
compared
gonna
to
tell
like
you.
2 years ago, because
I'm gonna
some
tell
would
you.
argue they've done better
I'm gonna tell
since
you.
our original episode. Yeah, tell me. Cap was
I'm
that
not.
bad? Cap was that
I'm not.
bad?
I'm not saying. I'm not saying that they're lost or that I'm not excited about these two films, Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, which we'll jump into. I'm not saying I'm not excited. I'm just saying I'm not expecting anything anymore from Marvel. My expectation button, expect greatness, expect good, is busted. It's big busted. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when it comes to busted, it's one of those things where it's like, I think that's for the benefit of me as a viewer, because if you at the ground floor, all you could do is go up. You feel me? That's how I feel. That's the place I'm putting my heart in as a fan of the MCU. I'm not saying I'm not a fan. Versus if we were to have a discussion about DC right now, DC's got the expectation from me currently because they've been building up expectation for some time now. Marvel has had this fluctuation of quality for so long now that at this point it's like, why am I using quality as an expectation at all from Marvel? You know what I mean? That's how I feel. I'm protecting my heart as a viewer of the MCU, as a lover of Marvel. That's how I feel. So when it comes to answering your question, which is how do I feel about Thunderbolts? I think Thunderbolts has the potential to be a solid film. I think it has the potential to have some Guardians of the Galaxy-esque outlier anomaly type feeling to it, where it doesn't need to necessarily fit the shoes of some other film or some other group of heroes or even anti-heroes. I think at the end of the day, it can be its own thing. And I hope that they lean into that as hard as they possibly can. It seems like they're going to. The marketing is giving that vibe. But we also, another thing we can't expect, or marketing can be one thing, film could be another. So that's
Right,
how I feel about
right,
Thunderbolts. What about
right,
you?
right, right. I mean, for me, in terms of expectations, I feel like I rarely go in with expectations for good or bad. I'm always just kind of like, let's see where we're at, right? Because the people always wonder, who asked for this? Who asked for Agatha all along? Who asked for the Thunderbolts? And I'm like, well, somebody in the creative team did, and I'm down to see why. I'm down to judge whether or not it was a good ask or not after I see the film, not before it. Um, Also with the numbers and the greatness and the quality, again, I'm just like, every movie can be different. Because in the middle of Infinity War and Endgame, what did we get? We got Captain Marvel 1. Like, we got Ant-Man 2. Like, so I think for a long time now, I've not been thinking the last one's great, next one's great. And
But what
so,
makes me frustrated is that this is a universe. And that's part of what frustrates me here too, where it's like, you want to know what also switched between our first episode and now? I experienced Star Wars to the degree that I have experienced Star Wars. I've seen a universe with intentionality be built out. So that's part of what's also disillusioning when it comes to Marvel as well. Because yeah, we did get Captain Marvel and it was shit compared to what was going on around it. Or we did get Ant-Man 2 and it was not as memorable as anything else that was around it. But it still has pieces to it that added to the puzzle of the universe in its whole. As much as people might want to argue against it, Ant-Man 2, Captain Marvel, they're integral in getting an Endgame and getting an Infinity War. Like the reality is that they're all as momentum. Marvel has broken any level of me being excited about how this piece could connect to that piece. And we'll talk about that a little bit because, as we know, there's a big, long Avengers discussion that we might need to have on the back end of this conversation. So
yeah,
anyways, let's
yeah.
go. Keep going.
But yeah, what I'm more so saying is those grand universe schemes. I'm like, I'm gonna wait, roll through the fumbles, roll through all that. Not everybody can. I understand it. To see where we end up
You
and
trying to
what
say I
kind of.
can't? You trying to say I can't? What's up?
Well, we know you can, bro. We've known you can since Daredevil season 3. I've known you can, bro. That was clear to me.
Since Assassin's Creed. You.
That's a different conversation entirely because you and that franchise. Ooh, that you got a button in you, and we're gonna work through that button one day on the
Yeah,
podcast.
it's called "Is It Worth My Time?" My life is filled with a lot of
We
things.
gonna
It better be
we gonna
enticing.
we gonna look at that button. But for Thunderbolts, it looks fun.
It does.
And it looks like a cast of characters where, for the most part, even the characters like Ghost, who was only in Ant-Man 2 7 years ago, I can look at it and be like, oh, that's a dynamic she's bringing to this group I'm interested in. Now, what's concerning me is they're really tying this down. They had a whole trailer dedicated to look at all the A24 people that worked on this film, from the music of Everything Everywhere All at Once to the actors of Midsummer and A Different Man and all these other projects. And it's like, what are you guys trying to say? You trying to say this is something in line that A24 would have put this out? And you know what? There seems to be excitement from the cast. And again, connectivity of the universe is my only concern with this film as well, of like, where does this fit in? Because my biggest problem I have two big problems with Marvel post Endgame. I hate the way they've handled the multiverse, because in every project it works differently. And I understand the multiverse is just a concept that can be confusing, but they could have done it a lot neater, because Loki works differently than Spider-Man, and that works differently than Doctor Strange too. And then my second is the timeline is a mess right now when we have no concept of what takes place when. They'll say, oh, a few months ago when the big monster showed up in the middle of the ocean, but it's like, but I heard that same line on She-Hulk, and are you telling me these are the same, like it's happening at the same time? Marvel needs to be very clear about when things take place, because they're not. And Thunderbolts right now, that's my only big concern. Other than that, I have no expectations. This is going to be ass. Oh, the Suicide, I don't care. I don't care to compare it to the Suicide Squad or anything like that. I'm going to watch the movie, and I'm going to judge the movie as it is. I'm excited for the cast to see them interact. That is my biggest thing. Cast interaction that I can enjoy, because not all of them have it, in a great way. I thought Ant-Man 3 was weak in some areas like that. I thought the Marvels was strong in some areas like that, and I'm excited to see where this one falls.
It's a good point, bro. I think these characters are written via the comics to be able to have good connective tissue and interactions and scenes and dynamics. That's part of why it's like when they did it well in the Marvels, I was very happy about that, because it reminded me of what was again, it's a pillar of why the crossing of storylines amidst the MCU is cool. It's because when they interact with each other, again, I'm sorry to keep bringing up Star Wars, but at the end of the day, it's like when the story of who Ezra is echoing through all the way to Ahsoka's storyline, to the point where they're saying that this is an additional season of Rebels. It's like, now you're giving me a live action medium version of this, and this. Like, Marvel could be catching this bag, but what it feels like, and we got to remember this: Disney owns both of these universes. That's part of what frustrates me, my bro.
Well, hey,
What
some would
frustrates
argue
me,
that they're doing terrible with both.
I know, and that's fine. You could argue whatever you want, but everyone knows Marvel's doing terrible right now. No one is saying Marvel's doing stupendous. You don't attract a direct contender like DC over the span these last years in terms of the strategic plays they make it to take over. You don't attract somebody trying to take over if you haven't shown weakness. They're showing weakness big time right now. You feel me? So Thunderbolts is one of those films where I do like that they're leaning into the abstract. I do like the idea of, how do you even fight a villain like this guy? This guy is weird. Like this is some crazy-ish. How do you even compete? I do like what they're doing when it comes to the actors that they've involved, and kind of taking B and C list characters and giving them an opportunity to shine that are from other movies. I do like all of these things. But I also like, again, bro, when it comes down to it, you already said it: continuity, timeline, it's messy. What they've created is an echo chamber of movies where they can just release movies, make a bag because Marvel's name is on it, and there's no care or continuity to any of these pieces of content. And for me, it's like that in itself is when we can't talk MCU or the state of it without letting you know, this is the state of a disgruntled fan of Marvel. That's what I got for you right now. I'm not just gonna senselessly buy a ticket without letting you know I'm frustrated that I'm over here showing up to watch you make my Black Captain America politic in the damn White House. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you about it because you need to know. On my CUZZO-OP channel with my cousin, or maybe only 50 people listen to this. That's fine. I'm still gonna let you know. So that's how I feel about Thunderbolts. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna have fun. It's gonna be cool to see Bucky with his metal arm with the glasses and the and the Red Guardian crack his jokes. Shouts to Hopper. It'll be good. I saw the featurette. Right. I think it was for when Florence Pugh jumped off the building.
She's bugged.
She's bugged. Fire. That's
Wouldn't
fire.
be me.
Okay,
Wouldn't be
Tom
me.
Cruise. Okay, Tom Cruise.
Right. Wouldn't be me, bro. Yeah, my hot take is that I could sense them coming out of this movie, the characters, feeling more connected than most of those Avengers ever were. Because let's be real, were they really as connected as everybody remembers them being?
Yes. And
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think
I'm talking as characters showcased on the screen.
Yes.
Them as the family that we all remember them as, they were not like that the way that we want to believe. They weren't. When was the last time you went through and watched? They weren't. We got Age of Ultron. They were the family. And then in Infinity War, Civil War, we got like 2 movies with them. But people act like they were family for 7 movies. They weren't.
Nah, you're tweaking out. Yeah, absolutely wilding.
I'm not.
You're wilding.
I'm not. Which is why Age of Ultron is better than most people remember it.
I hear what you're saying, and I understand what you're trying to say, but at the same time, I feel like the only reason why it was slap is because not that it wasn't done before, it just hasn't been done in a while. It's like the cohesion of the characters hasn't been done in a while. All I'm saying,
bro, is that when they come out of this film, they could be more connected and more family.
Like, bro, there's mentally ingrained relationship between like Hulk being calmed down by Black Widow, or Captain America and Black Widow's friendship in the way it grew from Cap 2. Like, there are Tony's vibe when it comes to, yo, bro, stop. You're wilding.
I'm not.
What?
I'm not.
Whatever.
But you hearing what you want to hear, bro.
Let's talk about
you hearing what you want to hear.
Let's talk about a different family then, bro. Let's talk about a different family, bro.
Fantastic Four. That's family right there, bro.
That trailer was hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Which trailer, bro?
The final trailer that just came out.
Yeah, today, right?
Yeah, that shit was fire. I saw it a couple minutes before I hopped on here. Yeah,
it's great. Fantastic Four, jumping back to the first trailer, it looked fun. And I said it on episode somewhere that Kirby looks like she is going to be like a heart, like the heart of that film. But then to look at this new trailer and see the Thing and Johnny and their interactions with Reed, because we didn't get that in the first trailer, and their interactions with Sue, that's family, bro.
I love it.
It's great. The vibes look great because I think it's Matt Shackman from WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing the vibes. We know he knows how to do the vibes, bro.
Yeah, the vibes is there. Retro AF.
Right. So when people look at the trailer and they're like, "Oh, I'm feeling the vibes," it's like, yeah, but people got to be careful not to get lost in the vibe, because that may convince them that it's better than what it is. I'm not saying that the trailer looks bad. It looks phenomenal. But there are going to be people that confuse, I like the 60s vibe, this movie is peak, versus let's look at the deeper. You get what I'm saying? Like, people look at WandaVision, oh, it's peak. But then you actually look at the meat of WandaVision, you're, oh, wait, it's falling apart. Monica really just said, look at how much she sacrificed because she let the town that she was slaving go. What are we talking about? Like,
yeah,
because the episodes of black and white is peak. Okay. Fantastic Four looks phenomenal though. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I feel like what I love about the way the Fantastic Four are looking right now is, I think that's the only route they could have taken. Because in my head, as much as the Jessica Alba, like the oldie Fantastic Fours weren't like quality wise the best in terms of like, the production value, the reality is the heart of that squad. And maybe if I go back, I'll find it wasn't even the case because it's just nostalgia. Oh, who knows? Nah, that was memorable to see the four of them be a four, right? Like what was missing from the Fox version was exactly that. Like I don't give a crap about y'all. Y'all ain't even cohesive. Y'all are like the not even fantastic, more like the average ones, like together in a group of four. Like it doesn't feel like four, but off rip, this trailer is giving that vibe where it's like, oh yeah, when they did the whole, oh we're gonna be the best uncles, or him cooking, him like you, I don't know how you're gonna do on that. I might be out your depth. I was like, oh, that's gonna be fire. Like they already are showing us some of the personality rubbing off, similar personality that we saw rub off in some of the Avenger films when the person let me stop going, let me chill.
Why are you stopping?
All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is this. My favorite thing from the whole trailer was the beginning. I love the way that the Thing is seen as not something to be scared of, but actually the kids find him playful and he's gentle in his existence. I think off rip, it shows there's a maturity in the emotions of this movie that is going to stand out, and that makes me excited because
Yeah.
if you're going to tell me a movie, show me a story of characters that have emotional maturity and things that they carry, and it's just under the guise of Marvel with these being heroes, but it's really a human story, that's always going to win. But when you try to
Yeah.
use like Marvel and then be like Marvel-y and then forget to make humans, that's when it does not work.
I think that was Cap 4's problem.
Fact.
Trying to be Marvel before it tried to be human.
Facts. That's a good point.
Thunderbolts,
it
looks like it's trying to be human.
It does.
In a different light.
It does.
And then Fantastic Four looking like family. That's family.
I'm still, regardless though, hashtag bench Feige. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean?
People want Brad Winderbaum. They want Brad Winderbaum to take over.
Bro, I can see a subculture from a mile away. What I mean by subculture is we got a big sphere of ideas and concepts that exist for the MCU. And then there are these little small pockets of ideas that pop off because one director is given the creative control to be able to do something stellar. It's the job of somebody who's over the whole culture, to go and look at that and go, that thing is worth throwing gas on the fire of because it works grand wise. Let's put that in the whole culture. Feige's been asleep at the wheel on that ever since the Russo brothers left.
That's why we need a study, because there are some that argue that Feige is doing too much right now to keep things connected. And that's what I love about this conversation.
Sure.
It's Feige's not doing enough or Feige is doing too much. And we really got to sit and look and study and say, maybe he is or isn't. And it's the same reason why I love any major controversial conversation of they're doing too much, so they're not doing enough. You always have 4 or 5 different groups that are arguing something different. And it's like, oh, I get why shit isn't working right now. But yeah, I'm happy that we got to see Reed stretch. We got to see Silver Surfer. The actress with the Silver Surfer, I have not cared for in much.
I have not cared for anything. I was disappointed by that, but hey, whatever. So
maybe she'll be good here, though, right? The cast itself for the Fantastic Four is fantastic. We love what is it? Eban as the Thing. He's glorious. I love them in Punisher. Love him in The Bear. I'm excited here. Joseph Quinn. People still like to shit on him because he was in Stranger Things. I didn't care about A Quiet Place Day 1 that much, but saw Warfare. He was good at Warfare, and he's good in other things I've seen him in. He looks good as Johnny. And he spoke about the heart of Johnny Storm as well recently, which I enjoyed. Pedro Pascal is killing it everywhere that he is in, and I like him. I buy him as a 60s classical man. I do.
Yeah. The whole thing looks believable. It looks like they belong there.
Yeah, Kirby.
I told you Kirby was going to cook that.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I think people are complaining that she sounds British, that her and Joseph Quinn sound British. And I'm like, do they sound British or elegant? Because it's the 60s. People don't know the difference between elegant and British.
I thought that Joseph Quinn sounds like somebody.
Chris Evans, to me.
Somebody said he sounds like Chris Evans, and he's got Tony Stark's mannerisms. And I was like, that's actually hilarious because I can see that. I can hear that. And yet, so what? Let him rock, man. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what he does. It'll be good.
Yeah. So that being said, I don't know about other shows. I think Ironheart is coming out this year as well. I don't have many thoughts. I didn't care much for her character in Wakanda Forever. And there's a lot about that show. They stopped and started a few times, some castings. I don't know how to feel about it. We don't know anything about it, so I'm not really want to talk about it.
That's fine. We don't have to.
That's
That's
that.
cool.
Let's talk about the big deal that we weren't able to cover a few weeks ago. The 5-hour long chair video. Are you aware that that's how they did these announcements for
I
Doomsday?
saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. What is your thoughts on the idea of doing every 13 minutes, putting a different chair, and that's it down on? What do you think about that?
I thought it was like cheap, like it felt cheap, but at the same time, like it's a teaser. It's a teaser, and we've already gotten the news of a lot of these people already via a tweet. So what's the difference between me seeing it randomly on a tweet from some random media source and me seeing it on a chair? In this sense, it's like because here's what I liked about it. I'll tell you what I liked about it. It gave press enough time to be able to put content out about this person being in a film and gave each actor the time to get the light shown on them. So for me, I enjoyed that aspect. Could it have been more than just the chair? Could it have been like a cool graphic or some shit? Yeah, absolutely. You could have got a little more creative. But when you see the final video where it's like they're all compiled and it's a quick moment, that joint is tough. Like it's like that is a trailer is fire. And most people are gonna see that second trailer that's compiled quickly. Most people were not like the average
Well, they
consumer
had
was not gonna
millions.
sit
They
there.
had millions of
I
millions
know,
of
but even
views
then, there's
on
even
a
more millions of people.
Wednesday.
I know, because it's Marvel, but at the end of the day, like that's still just a fraction of the amount of people who are seeing the legit trailer when it comes out. They're
Sure,
gonna see,
but
you know, the
like
real
you
one.
said, that press was pressing that day.
Oh yeah, it was
I
pressing
know in
person.
between patients that I was seeing for work, I had my phone on my little stand right here like this,
Yeah,
right there, like this at
yeah,
work,
yeah.
bro. When my next client ain't for an hour, bro, we right here. I'm gonna catch 4 chairs, bro.
4 chairs.
And it was fun. I had fun because became a guessing game. You hear the music, you're like, all right, who's next? Who's next? Some names I was surprised weren't there, but let's talk about the names that were there, bro. We
Right.
started off with Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Duh, right? Like we expected it. Russo's. I like how you handled Thor. I'm excited to have you handling Thor again. I ain't like
Facts.
how Taika handled Thor in 4, bro.
I've heard some whispers that that was Taika's middle finger to the gang for the way that they took Thor and made him from Ragnarok who he was during the Infinity and Endgame. Like I've heard some whispers that Taika was just like, oh yeah, so then F it. We about to make a whole satire out of this cat since y'all want to take what was serious about my film and bring it into the space that it ended up going
Hey,
into.
bro, I feel like it was still very serious. People like to crap on Endgame Thor, but that was like close to a Thor that I really want.
Mm,
That's taking his grief and channeling it elsewhere. Taika threw it all away. I feel like we could have had something special, but excited to have him back and see what they cook up with him.
facts.
Next up, Vanessa Kirby. Duh, like, all right, we're seeing a theme. We can't even like be excited necessarily. We ain't seen the flick, but it was obvious. Oh, okay, yeah. Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson, duh.
Duh.
And every name that I say, we're kind of assuming they're playing these characters because they didn't confirm who they were being playing,
Right. That's the other
and
thing.
it's a multiverse saga, so we don't necessarily know. I'm assuming, but Anthony Mackie will be there. I assume as Cat. And like I said, I want him to have his time to shine as leader, and I'm excited to see how that is handled with a group of heroes
Yeah.
versus his little ragtag team.
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan as Bucky. Maybe. Duh.
Duh.
Gotta watch Thunderbolts. But here we're confirming Bucky makes it out of Thunderbolts.
That's a fact. Maybe.
Maybe. Letitia Wright.
Yeah, she's back. Shout out to
Awesome.
Wakanda.
Great. I'm
I'm
so
glad she's back.
excited. So excited.
Wow, the
Yeah.
sarcasm is crazy, bro. I
You and
love it.
I both sat there and talked about how she wasn't that great of a lead,
She
though.
wasn't because she wasn't great as a lead, but maybe they'll do something here where she's a supporting character.
Maybe, bro. Maybe. Paul Rudd.
I'm excited to see him. You
You
know
can
that.
assume he's Ant-Man. We love that. His chair was small, too. That was cool.
I'm hyped.
Wyatt Russell, we assuming John Walker, he survives Thunderbolts, right?
Yeah,
That's
hopefully.
2. Tanakh Horeta as Namor.
I thought that was wild.
That was crazy to me. That was
I
the
was
first
like,
name where I
what?
was like, oh wow. For reasons I'm not gonna talk about on the podcast.
I
As
just was
well as
surprised.
I was shocked. I was okay. Ooh, maybe he'll have a thing with Sue? No? Okay.
Not Sue.
Hey, they have that problem. They got beef.
I know.
Ebon Moss as Ben, maybe, hopefully. Exciting.
It's gonna be
Duh.
Ben. Yeah.
We're like, okay. Yeah, but if Micro shows up, you don't know. Micro could show up. Simu Liu as Shang-Chi, bro.
I was hype off that when I saw him.
I was like, oh shoot.
It's been too freaking long. What's up, man? He was one of the strongest films on the back of the Endgame, bro. If not top 4, top 5. Still to this day.
You talking about after Endgame or overall?
After Endgame, I feel
top
like
5 after Endgame?
I think in terms of the movies,
I think it's top 2, bro. What are you talking about top 5 for, bro? Guardians 3 is the only other thing that I think is we're talking top.
Guardians got to go up there for sure. You tweaking if you don't think that's the case.
So I'm saying, like,
top 5. I'll put him in top 5.
Wow.
Top 3.
Okay. Because I know you don't like No Way Home, so like
top 3 though. But yeah, some people really think that movie's crazy though. So I'll give it like top 3, top 5.
Okay. Florence Pugh as another Thunderbolt cast.
Love him.
Mm-hmm.
Love him.
Kelsey Grammer as Beast.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy, bro. Now it's starting to get tweaked out. Now the music's changing.
Right. We're like, okay, but we saw him in the Marvels, so we're like, okay, that makes sense. Lewis Pullman as Sentry. Wait a minute, another Thunderbolts? Okay, wait a minute. Danny Ramirez as maybe the Falcon. You love that guy.
I liked him. Shout outs to what was his name? Javier? No, his name was
Joaquin.
Yeah. It was a J. I got the J.
Yeah. Joseph Quinn. We assume he's playing Johnny Storm. We love Johnny.
It's a stacked cast, man.
It's a stacked cast. David Harbour, another Thunderbolt. Winston Duke as M'Baku. I was shocked to see him get a chair, but that's respect. That's respect on Winston Duke's name.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the press was losing their mind off Winston Duke.
Right. Hannah John Kamen as Ghost, potentially. Damn.
The Thunderbolts are legit. You need to hang out with the Thunderbolts for real. Like
right, real. Except Taskmaster, because her name ain't on this list, bro.
All right, Bree.
She not even in the trailers like that.
I don't even want to talk about that. We're going to have to talk about that later.
Tom Hiddleston as Loki. How you feeling, bro?
Bro, as soon as I saw that, I was like... And then when you were saying earlier that time works differently in all these places, I'm really interested in seeing how they resolve all these issues. I hope they don't wait till this movie to resolve all of it. But at the end of the day, I'm interested.
Right. Now the music changed, bro. We getting Patrick Stewart as Charles X, but we've had him before in the MCU, so I'm like, okay, that's cool. The change for me was Ian McKellen as Magneto.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, I think Magneto is one of the few comic characters that we can say has been played in live action twice and been goated twice. And Ian McKellen, he's coming back, and I think that could be exciting. Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler shocked me. That was nuts.
That's a crazy last name also. Sheesh. Keep going on.
Rebecca Roman as Mystique. Crazy. James Marsden as Cyclops is crazy.
I loved when I saw him. I was like, let's go.
Channing Tatum as Gambit, though, I know probably upset you a little bit.
Nah, I saw it and I said, bet that boy about to make a name for himself. I said, okay, bet. I said, what are we going to do? I can't do anything about it. He made a name for himself, bro.
Okay.
Can't even say nothing.
Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. And finally, Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
And they've come out and said that this is only some of their cast.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was like, wow. No Mark Ruffalo. No Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
None of the younger Miss Marvels, Kate Bishop, Jeremy Irons. Yeah. Like, Jeremy Irons. What am I saying, bro? Jeremy Renner, bro. Yeah. I was like, yeah. Okay, so they're still gonna do stuff. They're still gonna pop off. And this is an interesting cast. It kind of X-Men, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and Avengers. 4 groups, plus some like Wakandan,
influence.
yeah. And I think it sounds like it's gearing up to be kind of like an Avengers, X-Men feuding film with Doom kind of pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say, because everybody has their opinions on it's so ass that they're giving you people from 25 years ago so you would clap at their screen. And I'm like, well, hold up, because we don't necessarily know what that's going to be. Like, the clapping of the screen was John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic in Doctor Strange 2. That was me clapping at my screen, bro. You know what I mean? Or for the fans of the Inhumans, that was Black Bolt clapping at the screen. They could still put something worthwhile here. That being said, after this and after Secret Wars, I don't want to see anybody from any of those old movies ever again. I don't want a Hugh Jackman. I don't want James Marsden. I don't want Patrick Stewart. I don't want Kelsey Grammer. I don't want them as the mains going forward. If it's a multiverse film, fine. Give it to me here. Put some heart in it. Put some depth in it. If Hugh Jackman is the new mainstay Wolverine post 2027, that shit is basura.
They're going to do it till he's 90.
Fuck all of y'all who think that it's untouchable casting, that Iron Man RDJ is untouchable casting, that Patrick Stewart Charles X is untouchable casting. Untouchable that shit is ass. That shit is ass.
He said, untouch these.
It's just, get it out of your mouth, bro. Like, you have to get over yourself and get over it. And if someone can come along and do it, give them the shot. Because with you believing that it's untouchable, you're not giving a fair shot to whoever may come along and do it next.
I agree.
Like, Michael Fassbender to me was better than Ian McKellen.
Easy.
But people are caught up on Ian McKellen so much, they don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone says, oh, that's untouchable, what I'm hearing is you don't want to give someone else a shot, and that's on you.
And that character's going to die with that actor, and that's the part that sucks, yeah.
People like to clown Batman for being played so many times, but there's a reason why Batman has remained culturally relevant since before 1989 when Keaton played him.
Yeah.
Since way before then.
He's an icon.
Superman, ups and downs, but there's a reason why it's been iconic.
I agree.
We can't let these characters die.
I think I'm hearing what you're saying, but I got that energy right now. Like, I'm not saying I'm not hyped that RDJ's back with the Russo bros. Like, because it's with the Russo bros, I'm cool with it, but I'm already on record stating this, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I was one of those people that when I found out that Doom is being played by him, I was like, and it feels like fan service. It feels like fan service. And my thing is this, bro. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with Solo Leveling. You familiar with Solo Leveling?
I watched the first episode.
You ever seen One Punch Man?
No.
The thing about these shows, they're animes, obviously, but what these shows do really well is every single show, every single episode, Sung Jin Woo, he wins every single time. He never loses. Every single time he wins. Every single time. You can bet your life that he will win. That's the whole premise of the show. But him winning and you knowing he wins does not take away from the intensity of the fight or the intensity of his struggle or the intensity of how he'll strategically get himself through this one. Because you know he's going to. It's like John Wick. It's like Fast 5, Fast 4, Fast 6. You know, it's this level of like, y'all gonna win. You're gonna succeed. So it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. And for me, like, I hear you on what you're saying in terms of wanting the old to go, because what the old come off as is destination. You're casting based on destination. You're not casting, trusting us as viewers or even yourself in the way you produce, that you can take us on a journey that's not to match the old journey, but to be something entirely new, which takes us back to the beginning of this conversation. The Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Fours. I want newness. So if this multiverse thing is going to come out and we're going to see some of these guys and it's going to be the Clash, it's bringing home the Fox boys, then bet. I'm with it. I'm down. But if that shit is like Deadpool and Wolverine, where everything's exposition. We got to get to point A and then get to point B,
Well, I think
and I'm
that's
Cyclops, so it looks
definitely
cool. I'm gonna be freaking
no,
tight.
I
I'm
think
gonna be
that's the
tight.
difference between Sean Levy and the Russo
I
bros.
know, I
At
know.
least the Russo bros when they're handling Marvel products.
I haven't seen their latest thing, but I like a lot of what the Russo brothers have done outside of the latest thing. Can't speak on that, but like
Hmm.
the Gray Man, the 21 Bridges, like they know how to do a story.
You know, I'm gonna put it on record, not to embarrass. Was 21 Bridges them, bro? Because you said it twice now, and
Yeah, bro.
I don't hear it. I'm not hearing that, bro.
I'm pretty sure,
They was
bro.
produced by them, so
Okay,
I guess that
okay.
yeah, I'll give you that. But
Yeah,
they weren't directing.
I thought that they directed. My bad. Yeah,
No.
no, no. I knew that they produced it though. I mean,
Right, right, right.
anything that they put their thumb on, you know what I mean, has a specific vibe to it where it's like it feels, like it has good momentum. It feels like it has something. There's light in it. I don't know how to describe it. Like there's something about it that feels
Sure.
compelling. They're good at
Right,
making
right, right, right.
compelling storylines. So
Yeah,
I need that compelling nature to
that's
not
what I
be
need.
fan service. I need it
Hmm.
to be, like you said, give it heart. That's how I feel.
Right, right.
But
So all that being said, with Doomsday, I mean, we have to wait and see. That's my whole thing with Downey as Doom. We gotta wait and see. I like. Is it? Some people say it's cheap. Oh, it's fan service. It's worry. It's regret. It's all these things. And for me, I'm like, maybe it is, but I just want to see what they deliver to us. I get it if you want the regular Victor Von Doom. You know, this might already set you off as a, all right, I've seen someone say, yo, that Fantastic Four looks so good, but I already know it's soured by RDJ as Doom. Fair to you. For me, I'm waiting till I get it. Any feelings I have about RDJ as Doom means nothing until I see it. Is it great? Is it bad? Is it awesome? I don't care. Let me see the project. And that's what I'm there for. And I'm going to watch the project, especially
yeah,
with James Marsden back, bro. I'm going to sit there and be like, you done with Sonic right now, bro? Let's see what you're putting on the screen, right?
fry. Go ahead,
Um,
cook.
but yeah, I want new cast for all of them boys if they're gonna
I
stay in
agree.
the MCU. New
I agree.
cast for all of them.
And Mystique.
Wolverine
I
2.
need Mystique to have a new cast too. Yeah,
Wolverine 2.
yeah, Wolverine as well.
Wolverine as well.
Please.
Okay. You done with Doomsday? Because I got one
I'm
more
done.
thing.
What's
I'm
your
done
last
with
thing?
Doomsday. Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, I
That
heard
was
about.
announced. You
I heard
know,
about I heard about these things. Yes.
yeah, Spider-Man 4. So we know Tom Holland's back. We're finally getting a Spider-Man with a Spider-Man 4. Zendaya's back. Concerned. Let's not undo the greatness that we've lined up at the end of the last movie.
Nah.
We have a name. They ditched the home. It's called Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah, you're gonna stick with the days now. No, you're gonna do days.
Maybe. They could do Brand New World, Brand New who knows after the
Not Brand
multiverse
New
shit.
World. We already did the
But
Brave New World.
this is coming out after Doomsday.
I know.
So what does that mean? Could it be the Ant-Man 2 and Captain Marvel? It don't matter that it comes out after. Daredevil has recently been doing things, not to go crazy, but I'd be really intrigued to see if this, I'm assuming Daredevil will drop before, so that probably won't play a role in anything, but let's just say Sony being stingy with Spider-Man rights and not letting him appear in other things is hurting a lot right now to his character.
I agree.
And so I'm
I
excited to see what Brand New Day is, bro.
I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, I think that they did a succinct work, strategic work to set him up to be able to kind of progress completely refreshed on this new take. So it's kind of like they can take their time. I hope they do it well. I know Holland's excited about it. He feels like they're getting into the core of what he thinks this is really supposed to be about, which makes me excited. Whenever you hear the person that's playing the role being enthusiastic about the character, especially when it comes to superheroes, this is like when you hear Henry Cavill talk about Gerald and walking away from Netflix's, show because he wasn't feeling like it was honoring it. Like, I
Sure.
like shit like that. That makes me hype. So
Right.
that's how I feel about it. I'm excited, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, and to add on to that point of him being excited, he didn't have to come back
That's facts.
because his
But he did.
trilogy was done, but he did. And with Destin Daniel Cretton directing, who he directed Shang-Chi, I'm expecting sauce. Spider-Man movies need sauce. Not all superhero movies need sauce, but Spider-Man movies do.
I need that.
So
I
I need
want that. I want
sauce.
that opening of Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac type feeling from this movie. I need like
Right. The
some
only
like,
really
oh
great
my
part of that game.
In fact,
Yeah.
the opening. I said, yeah, like that. We need some of that in there.
Yes. Tasm, say what you want about Mark Webb. He has sauce though.
He did. Big sauce. Big sauce.
Maybe the writing or everything else, the studio interference, but when he putting Spider-Man on the screen, there was sauce there. More sauce than I've seen in other areas, truthfully.
That's a true statement.
So
good take.
Excited for Spider-Man 4. Marvel, looking forward. The state of Marvel. For me, right now, if I had to summarize it in 2 sentences, I'm enjoying it and I'm waiting to see. Not loving it. None of that. I'm enjoying it and I'm waiting to see more.
If I had to put it into 2 sentences,
yeah,
I'll watch it. I'm not expecting much though. Straight like that, I'll watch it. I'm just not expecting much though.
Like I said, I'm not expecting much anyway. I don't ever expect much until the time really comes for it. And so I think my expectation, catch me in 2026, because Superman, I expect, because it's a make it or break it deal right now. That movie fails, which a lot of people want it to, conversation for another time. So the question for the episode, bro, we have different ideas. We have different ones we could go with. You want to hit that 2-sentence one as the question?
Nah, I want to hear which project they're most excited for.
That was my other idea. So what Marvel project are you excited for the most in the current lineup and why?
Yeah, I need to know. We need to know. And we'll respond to you. Please stay tapped in with us on YouTube. Stay tapped in with us on Spotify. Because then when you answer, we could like talk to you about it. And we can even bring that up here on an episode. You already know what it is. It's CUZZO-OP. We love the community responses.
Yes, sir. Star Wars month is quickly approaching. Very quickly. We got Star Wars projects out coming soon. Tales of the Underworld releases on May 4th. Revenge of the Sith is in theaters again next week. I'm just so damn excited. Andor starts up next week too. You watch Andor yet?
No.
Damn.
Bro, there's too much. It's too much. Last of Us just came out.
Yeah.
I got Suits LA that's out. I got The Penguin that I got 1 episode left of that I'm still trying to catch up on.
Amen.
It's just too
much. And
yeah,
he got to finish Daredevil too. So if anything, what I'm hearing from us right now is to stay tapped in. Because there are conversations coming. And fun conversations at that.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's all I'll say here. See y'all in the movies, bro. See y'all on Disney Plus.
Make sure you go to the movies. See you on Disney Plus. I'm going tonight to go see Sinners 70mm over here in Dallas.
Shout out to Ryan Coogler. I'll be seeing it tomorrow.
Shout out to MBJ. You already know how it goes. And Haley, love you. Goated. I'm excited. Anyways, thanks for tapping in with us here at CUZZO-OP. You already know the vibe. Stay plugged in. Share this episode with other people who might love Marvel. You might get a kick out of my exaggerations or Willie's beautiful analysis of what's to come. Stay tapped in on everywhere that you could possibly listen to a podcast. That's where we are, and we're going to be there. And know every time that you tap in with us, you're going to find 3 things. That's 2 cousins, 1 podcast, and endless entertainment. Assemble!